Hello and welcome to another set of turns here of Dominions 5 with the False God. I am playing as Phaeacia today. We're jumping into turn 11. We've had an amazing start. We found a Thunder Oak, so that's a little bit of air income. Missed everywhere else. We lost some population and had Famine Strike. And I think that's Witch Haven is here. We already know there's death here. And our Dominion doesn't have death. So there's a Well of Pestilence or some Inkpot End or something here that we don't really want to mess with. So we are sending horsemen to try and take this province, and we're sending the mercenaries down here to try and hit this. There's only like 12 of them left, or 11. They're not going to win. I'm sort of just pinging and getting the mercenaries that I don't want to pay for anymore off the board. Rebidding these guys to make that happen is sort of whatever, but honestly, I think I paid 75 for them. A commander would be 40 and he might die anyway, depending on what's there. Plus taking this away from other people. There's a lot of random lakes that people might want access to that we can sort of prevent. So maybe a bit wasteful, but we have a lot of gold. Same here. We don't want to rebid them. So we're going to send them in. And this one, I think they should win. There's like 30 guys left. We're sending this guy to move down here, which is risky because, as I just told you, there's some kind of death site here. I think I knew about it and it was a calculated risk. We started another palisades, so now we have a full compass of additional fortifications. Looks like there may be a palisades going up here as well from Calum, although it doesn't make a lot of sense unless he found something really good here, because obviously it's a wasteland. So I'm not sure about that. Here we're going to finish our palisade and our lab. Again, we built this temple a turn earlier because this guy has things to do. It's a little risky. We do not have any agreement with Yomi, but it is what it is. A little bit of risk. And we're launching our attack into Nazca. So like I talked about last turn, I think we maybe are a little premature. I think we could have waited a turn to try and take some thrones, but I get it. We finished the fort, and the fortress is going to finish next turn before he can respond. So we're going to try and hit as much of this. So our ally is Phalegra, who's here. We have no other allies in the conflict. So I don't remember at this point if we have learned what the Nazcan bless is yet. We know it's going to be some kind of hell bless. There's only so many options it could be. We don't have the magic to fight to change our plans very much, no matter what it is. Our plan is basically just going to be sending in waves of colossi. We're going to try now. So with Phalegra, right, that means this province is something that he has access to and I have access to. It'd be nice for us to probably get this stuff and then maybe the capital, and then he gets all this stuff. But it's hard to say for sure how it'll go. It just sort of depends on how the war goes and who ends up doing more of the work. So, getting this, depending on what his god is, could make a big difference too. We do not currently have any way to deal with a big rock, if that's what he's got. If it's a human, right, we can absolutely kill it. But if it's a big rock, we might struggle, depending on what he has available, to actually chop our way through it. We don't have the earth to make smashers or anything. We could try and trade for him, but it would be a lot easier for Phalegra, right, to send a tyrant with a smasher and smash the rock. For sure. So we'll see if it's a rock or not. We'll see how aggressive we need to be in trying to get it. Because, yeah, right now we're sending out just a small group of 40 guys. We've got a larger army of 70 guys headed here. We're going to go ahead and try and keep keep getting our stuff together. Get ready for this attack. So let's go ahead. Well, I don't think there's too much else going on this turn. We're building up all our palisades. We're attacking, but just into a lightly held province. Probably not building a fortress or anything here. Nazca probably can't really build more than like one fortress anyway. They probably won't have the gold for it. I think Nazca's a really, Nazca's obviously kind of hated on as being very, having super cancerous scales and crazy sacreds and being a very, very strong scaling nation, but I do think they're pretty cool. I don't know how quickly they can look to take a fort. Like, I don't know if they're a nation that's looking to buy a fort. I don't know if they're a nation that's looking to take a fort in combat. Both seem really hard because you tend to get attacked as Nazca. Yeah, I don't know what successful Nazca games look like because the nation's super strong, but it doesn't generally seem like it's strong enough to fight off multiple players early. You're just not gonna. I just don't think you can mass enough sacreds. You haven't had enough time to look for air gems. You haven't had enough time to get the various Phaeacia summoners online to make a lot of them. So I guess we'll see if they defend against us. We'll experience it firsthand. But we're gonna go ahead and attack in here, and then move our army up, and then probably look to like push forwards the turn after. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into turn 12, and I will go ahead and have to stop it at turn 12. We're on turn 32 in the actual game, so I don't want to record too far ahead of what I can actually show. So here is us attacking the throne with our heavy horse, and we're running into the undead. We're running into the undead, and we're making progress. We've made it through the undead. Now we're at the remaining heavy infantry. We're so close, and then we routed. So that was pretty unfortunate. I think we could have won that. Obviously, it was kind of ambitious to go for it. We were sort of throwing them away, but it felt like we were close to taking this. Here is our battle with Nazca. Let's see if anybody's home. Looks like PD plus that guy who is fleeing. So nobody home, no losses. And then we attack the shipwreckers into this throne. And we can see knights, militia, and then in terms of the spellcasters, it's another one of conjurers, conjurer, a sorcerer with a disease. So he's not long for this world, I think. And a circle master. So lots of undead. It's gonna be way too much for these guys to handle. But this I think is very takeable with a large group of. I mean, the main thing, right, when you're up against a lot of chaffy undead, right? A lot of horde from oy vey. Horde of skeletons. Yeah. When you're up against lots of undead summoning, the main thing, right, is you just need to bring enough guys. Because the undeads aren't very strong. They're just going to try and overwhelm you. But so if you can bring enough troops that you sort of keep them on check and you push forwards, you'll eventually win the combat. So I think 100 of our guys definitely could have won that fight on that throne. So we could have maybe tried to take that. Excuse me. We get some earth gems. We get some more earth gems. We get 400 gold, misfortune. And we get 8 pearls. Or no, sorry, not 8 pearls. 8 gems, 4 fire, 4 pearls. And we finished 2 more. We finished the palisades in a fortress. And evocation rituals are cheaper this month. They're not gonna help us. We can go astral project for probably 2 still. Sort of is what it is. So we're sending both groups forwards here. We can see there's a Royal Malachy here. But the Royal Malachy is almost assuredly just site searching. They're going to have more early research than we are for sure. But I still don't think, even with an Awake, that they have much for a Royal Maliki to do. The Maliki, right, obviously require a lot of support. They want to be communions. They obviously have tons of paths, but they're kind of low path. So the Maliki, I'm not particularly afraid of. The most likely thing I think that they're going to do to us as a nation could be what? They probably want air elementals. We could run into air element. I don't think they can have big air elementals, but we could run into baby air elementals. Let's look at Nazca's mages. Yeah, see, pacifist scales. I don't think so. Not afraid of you. With Death 2, they could eventually look at, Horde of Skeletons, but that's Enchantment 3, which is a lot. And they have to go up Conjuration to begin with to get their Condors. So we're sure they're going to have Conjuration. Question would be, what else do they have? They could definitely, these guys have a little bit of Earth, and some of them are going to be Earth 2. With Conjuration 3, they could definitely go Enchantment 3 and have Strength of Giants. If they're a defensive bless with Strength of Giants, that could be pretty hard for us. The Incas are their big mages. With Fire Air, it's just air elementals early. I'm not too worried about Fire Air. The Koyas, again, they'd be better at doing those Earth buffs, but oftentimes, my understanding of Nazca is they don't make Koya because you don't want your Incas and Koya. When an Inca dies or Koya dies, right, it kills one of the other ones too, unless you don't have one to form a full Royal Maliki. But if you don't have one, right, you still get the Royal Maliki. It just doesn't have all the paths. And a Royal Maliki that's missing paths is just as good at making Sapayas as one that has all the paths. So my understanding is that oftentimes Nazca does not actually make these Koyas, even though obviously great mage, right? 6 paths, and then 30% of the time they get another one. It's odd. And that, we'll let them get some extra stuff. But I think mainly we're going to be looking at small air elementals and then maybe enchantment or construction 3 earth stuff. These guys are foreign recruit, so they could have them, but I'm not afraid of what these low-level dudes are doing either. So I think baby air elementals are our biggest risk. We're trying to have, this guy should probably be like a touch more forward, but we're trying to hold our box to have them smash into the outsides. So that way we can chuck javelins at them. We want, so if they're really killy, trying to think of the right, this is what we did. I'm trying to remember exactly why we were sort of going with the box instead of like a line. I mean, this keeps them on the outsides. It doesn't let them surround us, which is helpful. It keeps our commander alive. It obviously is also pretty important. But we just want to. I think we just want to spend as much time fighting them. They're super killy, probably, but we can kill them back because we're strong enough. I don't know. I just want to try and prevent ourselves getting whacked by. See, now here we didn't. Here we put 5 guys on guard commander, and we did a line. I think I just didn't think it through very well. I think the box is better. Because I think the box will limit the line of contact and prevent them from flanking our guys, and then we'll sort of expand out around them if we have more troops. But we're going for the double here. This is risky. Obviously, we could send everybody. We could take, this is 60 guys, 70 guys, 75 guys, and here's 40. We could send everybody here and then march right on the capital. This is more to cut Phalegra off, which is a little greedy, for sure. But we're gonna hope to get away with it here. Phalegra has attacked as well. We don't have any scouts, we can't see it, but they attacked as well. So the question, right? As Nazca, you're being 2v1. What do? You have flyers. You need to take. You need to. So this is obviously with the benefit of hindsight. You need to try and cut the enemy up piecemeal. You need to be concentrating all your forces to fight the enemy when they don't have all their forces concentrated, and you need to take battles to try and force people out of the war. So, in that respect, the question would be, if they're going to send their whole big army at either of these tiles, do we think we can beat it? Right? And that's probably debatable. Or are they going to have to fight Phaeacia instead? I want to say that Phaeacia moved here. Because they already had this. They had this part of the border. And this is Nazca. So I think that Nazca is most likely to defend one of these. But we'll see. Besides that, I think we got, let's see. We managed to get a 10% random. Unfortunately, not one that does anything super special for us. But we 10% randomed one of our prince consorts, an extra fire path. The only 10% randoms that really matter, if we'd gotten a double earth one, that would matter. Air 5, I don't think is super relevant for us because we can make the booster. We can make both boosters. So that's already Air 6. And then from there, you could look to make a staff. We can make a staff with our god pretty trivially. An elemental staff. So that's Air 7. And certainly if you put it on a queen, right, that's even higher. So I don't think Air 5 is hugely impactful for us. Obviously, it means that we could maybe save on a booster, etc. But I don't think it's opening up anything new. Water 3, we already have one of running around. Water 4 would be new. We don't have access to a Water 4, but we do already, with a Water 3, we have access to a Water 5. And then we also, with the staff again, that's Water 6. Again, if we wake up to Conjuration 8, that's Elemental Royalty right there. And then from there, you could cast all the water you want. Fire 3 would be tied for our god. So that would be, we don't have that much fire early. So Fire 3 would be nice early. Unfortunately, we can't get Fire 4, which is what you need for the booster. If we sort of take a look, when we think about the future, let's go ahead and do some long-term planning here, right? What do we care about doing long-term? You know, in terms, we want to put up gem globals. We want to make use, certainly want to make use of our steel ovens with, with cheaper conjuration or constructions. So like we want elemental royalty, just because they're fun to have. Obviously, those are big casters. In terms of what globals can we put up, Mother Oak is not going to be available to us until Construction 6. Because I think at Construction 6, our Hesperide, we can, and Construction 6, and we also need Conjuration 6. We can make a Hesperide, who I think is Nature 3. They can make a Nature Staff, which is Nature 4. And then they are also Astral Mages, I'm pretty sure. Let's double check. Hesperides are, yeah. Oh, they're only Nature 2. They're Astral 3, not Nature 3. So that means, yeah, that they're not quite going to get us there. Because we can put 2 boosters on them, but not a third. So I mean, that's a pretty long ways away from getting Mother Oak. Anyway, that's not a huge one. If we are running up Conjuration, I think isn't there? There's no good. There's Well of Misery, but that's not really in our wheelhouse. We have no access to death. Not even on our Pretender. Definitely look out there. We're looking for a Death Mage somewhere. If we don't find any, then we're going to have to do the very long route of having like Ring of Sorcery and Wizardry and empowering somebody in death. That would get us up to 3. From 3, you can with access to that many boosters, you can build your way up from there. But that's really far in the future. Yeah, Mother Oak. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Sea of Ice is bad for us. Nothing here. Evocation, we're probably not going up a huge amount of evocation. Eventually, though, there's Maelstrom. Now, there's a Pelagia and a Yiss in the game, so holding Maelstrom is probably going to be pretty difficult for us, right? We expect them to have more water gems. But we could cast it with our with what we have available now. And if we beelined it, after doing like an early construction 6 for research for the lanterns and then getting cheap lanterns, if we like beeline this, we could probably take it and hold on to it for a while. So that could be an option. We have a lot of good uses for evocation, but obviously it's not the best school in general. Construction, we definitely would like to get up to 6 for lightless lanterns and other stuff. Like 4 is going to be amazing for us. So construction is going to be great for us the whole way through with access to a steel ovens. But our 7s aren't as important, the brass bull and the craft skeleton, but weapons of sharpness is here, and that's obviously tremendous for everybody. So, and golems, we can make golems. So, a lot of good options at construction 7. Enchantment, we want to go up to enchantment 5 for Tradewind 100%. From there, it's a quick hop to Eternal Pyre. Now, the problem with Eternal Pyre is that we need to get like a Fire King or something first, because we can make the staff using air and earth, the elemental staff. That gets us to fire 4 with our god. And then that guy could make a helmet, so that's fire 5. But we don't have any way to get to fire 6 unless we get a Ring of Wizardry. And we're going to need a lot of pearls to get there, because that's Astral 7. And our god is 4. So it's doable. You make a hat, a ring, a coin, and then you can make the other ring. But that's like 100 plus pearls worth of gems. So that's going to be tough. Riches from Beneath, we don't really need. Like, we like having more resources. We get to make a lot of cool stuff with more resources. But we're not going to get enough gold, I think, for it to be relevant. And then also, Earthblood Depot is great. We have similar problems. Our god only has 3 earth. So then you go boots is 4, staff is 5, and you're left one short. We can't forge the bloodstone. So we're trying. We really need a lot of pearls. So we got to be careful with how if we want to do that kind of stuff. We got to be careful how we use pearls. And unfortunately, right, we have a lot of pearls we want to spend on shrouds, on our custom silk garments. So we really need to try and get a big pearl income, and right now we have 1. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we're attacking. We're continuing to construct large amounts of infrastructure, and we're going to try and scale this great early game into an early war against a player who definitely didn't expand super well, right? I mean, this is still here. So that's it. Thanks everybody for joining me. I will see you all in the next one, and have a great day.